Welcome, everyone. My name is Katie Brennick. I am the Training and Development Specialist here at School on Wheels. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Our two panelists today with me are Ian Chan, who is our Program Manager. He oversees all the programs that we have, and Cheyenne Parker, who is the Student Support Coordinator for East LA, Pasadena, and Riverside and San Bernardino counties. Ian, Cheyenne, and I worked with two other staff members to develop this year's summer program. And we're really excited to give you all a tour of what we put together. I just want to give a few notes before we get started. For purposes of sound quality, all participants are currently muted. You may wish to use headphones for better sound quality. Feel free to ask questions at any time using the Q&A option at the bottom of your screen, or we've given you access to the chat pane as well. We will also be allowing for question time at the end of this presentation. So what I want to do really quickly, I want to see the video panel. Why can't I see it? Nope. Nope, not that either. Gloria, you can hardly hear. Can you hear me better now? Headphones might work better for this, if possible. Okay. We are going to go ahead and move forward. I'm going to hand it off to Ian, and he's going to get us started on this topic. So, Ian.
Thanks, Katie. Just before we get started, I just want to wish Katie a happy birthday. It's Katie's birthday today, so happy birthday. Yeah, so just to get started here, this summer is going to be very important. Summer is always very important for our students, but especially this year because of COVID last year. I'll talk a little bit through the statistics. The summer slide refers to learning loss that many students experience during the summer months. And on average, we see that students can lose between 20 to 30% of their academic gains from their previous school year in ELA and math. So we want to make sure that students are continuing to learn and they don't lose that much throughout the summer. On top of this, which happens every summer, is the COVID learning loss, which is projected to be about 30 to 50% of gains that they'll lose over the summer because of COVID and because of learning online and all the different challenges that come with that. So these are some of the reasons why that this summer is going to be very important and why we decided to create the summer program in order to address some of these issues. We also see enrollment drops over the summer, and we want to make sure that students can stay engaged and stay excited about coming to their sessions. So we want to make sure that these lessons are fun, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that. So the goal of the program, the goal we started out when we created these lessons was for you and your students to be fully engaged and learning over the summer. And in order for you to do that, we knew a few things. So for one, we wanted to give each of you the opportunity to reinforce the topics that your students are learning in your respective core programs. So for those of you who's tutoring K-4 students, the ABC program, grades 5 through 8, the academic program or Freckle, and then for high school, a high school program focusing on life skills. We wanted to make sure that the lesson plans reinforce what you're already doing with your students. Secondly, these lesson plans have to be structured enough that those of you with no background in teaching or education would feel confident using them, and you don't need to have too much background information to really use them during your sessions. Number three, they also needed to give students a level of choice regarding the subject matter. Just in general, when students are allowed to pursue specific topics that they find interesting, they'll be more engaged and they'll want to do what they're doing in their sessions. And then lastly, we want to make sure these lesson plans involve a certain level of creativity. So many of our students love arts and crafts, they love drawing, and we wanted to make sure that these lesson plans have an end product that students can be really proud of. And then also the lesson plans allow you as a tutor to add your own spin and level of creativity on how you use them. So we want to make sure that it's just fun and engaging and creative all around. So I'm going to pass it on to Katie, who's going to show us more about how this program comes together.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, let's take a look at what this all looks like for you guys. So as you can see, we've got a little web page on our website devoted to this. It's schoolonwheels.org/summer 2021, which is now. And I'm going to skip down to the actual lesson plans themselves first to go over them. So what we've put together for you is there are just links to PDFs, very simple, very straightforward. There's between 7 and 9 lesson plans per grade band. So we have broken them up by grade band, sort of parallel with our core programs, just to make it simpler for everyone. So we've got kindergarten through 4th grade, 5th grade through 8th grade, and 9th grade through 12th grade. The overall structure, activities, and topics are already outlined for you. Let's take a look at one of these lesson plans. So the topic has already been picked and suggested, but the specific subject of each lesson plan is up to your student. We provide suggestions and options that help your student pick a subject within the topic area, and then you're good to go. For example, this lesson plan involves doing a biography on a historical figure. So we give you access or a link to a website where they can learn about different historical figures, and they can pick one that's interesting to them and then move forward there. The lesson plans also have different lengths. So some of them are able, you can do them in a single session. Some of them, like this one, can take 4 sessions. But the longer lesson plans do include suggestions for shorter variations. If your student really wants to try and do a historical figure biography, but you feel like it would be best if you confine it to a single session, there is a suggestion here for how you can do that. These lesson plans are also adapted for online tutoring. So a lot of them include, as Ian said, artistic or creative elements, but there are suggestions for how these activities can be done virtually or using physical materials. For example, during part 3 of this lesson plan, your student is going to create a poster about the person in their biography. So they can either use materials they have at home to do this, or there are options for using Google Slides or a Google Jamboard. We have also included as many relevant links as we could think of for each lesson plan, just to make it simple for you, the tutor. So let's take a look at this one. As you can see, some of these lesson plans require you, the tutor, to set up certain things beforehand. Like in the animal research project lesson plan, it does require you to create an account for your student on Epic Books, which allows you and your student to look through thousands and thousands of books so they can pick an animal they want to read about. And also requires you to create a free account on Book Creator. All of the accounts are free. And Book Creator is where you and your student will then write a book about the animal that they picked. And so we have not only included all the links to the relevant programs and websites online, but we have also included some links on tutorials, how to use Book Creator, for example. Or if we go back to the historical figure biography, there are links to relevant tutorials that you may want to use if you and your student choose to design a poster using a Jamboard and you feel like you don't know enough about how to do a Jamboard, or you could use a refresher. That information is present for you. So we tried to make it as easy as possible for you, the tutor. so that rather than thinking about the logistics, you can really just think about the content. We have also tried to make sure that these are easy to connect to the core programs and what your student is learning in them. So I'm going to hand it off to Cheyenne so she can kind of go over the details of that.
Absolutely. Thank you. So yes, like they said, all the lesson plans for these will go well with the different overall goals of the core programs. So for the kindergarten through fifth grade, they're going to be focused on the academics like reading and mathematics. And then for ninth through 12th grade, when they're doing the best program, they're going to work on academics, but they're also going to be working on life skills such as public speaking, career exploration, and those things that they're doing in the core program. For the majority of these lessons, it'll be very clear how they lend themselves to the core program, but there might be a few where you have to use your creativity of how exactly they connect between the lesson plan and the core program. So I'm going to go over one of the lesson plans that we have and just how you can use that lesson plan to reinforce the core program that you're working on with your student. So this one is for the grade band kindergarten through fourth grade, and it's all about planning their dream vacation. So just like Katie went over, the top will tell you what the summary and objective is, so what exactly they're going to be working on. This one uses all the components of science, social studies, and math to plan their dream vacation. So it's very clear how it will use all the different subject areas going into this lesson plan. It has the relevant tutorials and then also the materials that you'll need to prepare. And then when you scroll to the second page, it will show you all the steps that you're going to do with your student. This one is made to go over 4 different sessions. You can take things out or add things in depending on your time frame that you have with your student, but it's going to work with planning their dream vacation, and it will give you guys different activities for you to choose. So when you click on the link, it will take you to a choice board. The first part will be for your student to choose where they want to go for their dream vacation. And there's a few links on there as well that will show if you want to go in the United States, if you want to go to Mexico, if you want to go to Asia, different things for your students to explore to find where they want to go. And then when you look, this is their choice board. So it has 9 different activities, but they'll only choose 3 at least. If you want to expand it and do more activities, you're welcome to. But for math, they'll choose one of the blue activities to use with their lesson plan. And then you can also expand that and relate it to what they're working on in school and their core program. So math, they might work on lodging. So they're going to compare prices for their hotels and Airbnb. They're going to choose where to stay and how much that costs. But you can go further and you can do greater than, less than. So if you find 2 different hotels, you can say which one's greater than, which one's less than. If you find 5 different hotels, organizing it from least to greatest, because that's a skill that they're doing a lot kindergarten through 4th grade. You can also work on place value. So when they find what hotel they want to go to, what are the ones, tens, and hundreds in that hotel price? You can also work on addition and subtraction. That's always relevant for the students. For the younger grades, obviously 1 and 2 digit, but for the higher grades, 3, 4 digit addition, subtraction. You can even mix in some multiplication if they're staying multiple days. So if it's $350 for 5 nights, how much is that going to cost? All of these, as you're doing your research, will lend themselves to the kindergarten through 4th grade literacy program as well, because while they're doing this, they're going to be looking at different websites, watching different videos, and doing their research for their project. So as you're doing the different research, they might open up a web page, and if they're in 3rd grade, they might not know a lot of the words on that page. And as a tutor, you're going to be helping them read. But in kindergarten through 4th grade, they work a lot with their sight words. And so even if there's a lot of words that they don't know, there's also going to be a lot of words that they do know on that page. And so it's going to be your job as a tutor, if you open up a web page, before you guys even start doing any of the reading and helping them do all that, you can ask them, what words do you know on this page? They're going to know the, and, so, those different words that they see over and over again in school, they can find on that web page, and it will give them a sense of ownership, and it will make them feel like they're reading efficiently. So those are a few different ways that you can connect the different core programs to the lesson plans that they're working on for the summer lesson plans. I'll pass it back to Katie to go over the Padlet for you guys.
Thank you so much, Cheyenne. So if we head back to the main summer program page, there is another element that we want to share with you. We wanted to incentivize participation a little bit. We had our summer rewards program last summer, and so this is another little version of that. The method we're using is we put together a community board, essentially, that students can post their work on each week. And the idea here is that not only does it give students a sense of community and incentivize participation, but it helps us keep track of those that are participating as well for this specific incentive program. So at the end of each session, we want you and your student to post about your work on the online community board. To keep things fair, because we know some students have more than one tutor, we are limiting posting to 1 post per week. But the idea here is that every post enters your student into a raffle that we have to win a $50 Amazon gift card. So let's take a look at how the community board works. So the program is called Padlet. And as you can see, we've already got some posts. At the end of your session, like I said, we want you and your student to head over to the Padlet, and there are links on every single PDF lesson plan directly to the Padlet to make it really easy for you. And we want you or your student to post your student's first name, your name as the tutor, a description, photo, or link to what you worked on in tutoring that day. And then we're encouraging everyone to comment on another person's post. Note that a lot of the current posts are from students and tutors who are not doing our summer lesson plans, which is fine. But we really want to encourage you to use the lesson plans and post about them specifically. We want our students to be proud of their work and their creativity, and this is a really easy way to help them feel that. So if you take a look at this example here, it's actually a post of the thing that was worked on. So it's a little presentation. This goes with one of the K-4 lesson plans about my strengths. And it was put together. It's very sweet. And you can kind of see the details of what the student worked on. So we are encouraging you to do some of that. Post pictures, post links, things like that. Just so, it's not just text, which is also awesome. It's great to see what the other students are working on. But yeah, we do encourage you to be engaged. So you can click the plus sign down here to add a post, or you as the tutor, you can actually make your own little account. I did. It's very simple, and then you and your student can use that to post. And we encourage your student to post themselves, but if they are unable to figure it out, that's no problem. You can always post for them, but we do ask that you do it during your session while they're there with you. Heading back to the website, there's one more feature that I wanted to show. So we have these 3 groups of lesson plans for different grades, but we also have a little table that we've added with some other opportunities that are going to be fun and interesting for our students. Most of them are things that they can attend sort of whenever they like. But, we wanted to give your students some opportunities to really get involved in things that might pique their curiosity or get them thinking creatively, that weren't just, these lesson plans that we had put together. So that is essentially it in terms of the walkthrough. I do want to give you guys a chance to ask any questions that you may have about the summer program or summer tutoring or how to use these materials in our question and answer box or our chat pane. And while you are typing all of your feverish questions, I will just say that I'm really happy to be able to present this to all of you. It was a labor of love, definitely on the part of several of us staff members. If you have any questions at all after this, you can contact us at programs@schoolonwheels.org, and we will happily assist you, answer your questions, or point you in the right direction. This webinar will be uploaded to the webinar library on our website within the next few days. We will also be posting it on the summer program page itself, just for quick access. And finally, please do not forget to log your hours, your tutoring hours, but also you can log your attendance here on our logging page. And I think that is it. If we have no further questions, I want to thank you all for attending. Thank you, Ian. Thank you, Cheyenne. And that's it. Everyone have a lovely Wednesday, and we hope to hear from you guys soon, and we hope you enjoy the summer program. Thank you.